Well, hello there guys, modelers. This is Chris at Models, my factory. Choose what you will. Got an interesting little kit here. This is definitely not a jumble sail kit. This is not another jumble sail kit, I promise. However, it is a market stall kit, or more to the point, a kit found on a bric-a-brac stall, for want of a better term. So on this bric-a-brac stall, this caught my eye, nestled in amongst the books and old shoes and whatever else was for sale that day. This little Supermarine Spitfire, the Airfix Mark V C in 1/72 scale. Now this is a very old kit. It's from 1974, 73. I can verify that in a minute when I look inside it. But it's interesting because, let's have a look inside. I'd say it's an old box, you know, it's a bit tattered, but that's fine. It's got a lovely old picture on the front there of the Pacific, the Spitfire and the Pacific colours. I think that's the Australian Air Force, or yeah, the Royal Australian Air Force, I believe, Papua New Guinea. Anyway, it was in the, that's from the Pacific Theatre of World War II. Without me blathering on about that inaccurately, let's have a quick look in the box, because what's interesting about this is, yes, it's an old tooling. However, the panel lines on these sprues are actually recessed, although they're not recessed very much, as you can see on that. Oh no, I tell a lie. Some are recessed and some are raised. There you go. You can just make that out. There's the raised panel line along there, and then there's some recess here. There's some recess also. Well, actually, yeah, it's a strange mixture on the fuselage, if you can see it. But the detail compared with, say, the 2018 or the 2017 Airfix starter kits with the Mark 1 Spitfire in, I mean, the recent kits are just, it's a different world. The definition on the recent kits is you know, 100 times better than on this little kit. However, as it's such a small kit, I'm going to rescribe it, and the reason I'm going to rescribe it is not quite what you're thinking, because the previous owner of this kit also decided to include this in the box. Now, answers on a postcard to this address, please, if anyone's got any other information, because as far as I know, this did not come with the original kit. Now, whether this was put in by an owner planning a sort of upgrade, using this to fit onto parts of the older 74 kit, I'm not sure, because this is a completely different kit. It's newer, it's from a much later date, and it's got recessed panel lines. The definition is excellent on these. Now, whether this is actually an Airfix kit or a Revel kit, I don't actually know. I'm not going to take it out of the bag because it's sealed at the moment, but just take my word for it that the definition on this is a world away from on this little baby here. Now, the fuselage actually looks, at first when I looked at that the other day, I thought, oh, that's not going to fit on. Will it fit on the older, sorry, you can see it there, that might help. I thought the newer one will not fit on the older fuselage, but I think it will. I think it will. As I say, I think that was the intention of the previous owner of this kit. This is actually brilliant, because even the cannons on here, they're far more well defined than the original. We've got a sprung showing you. If you can see on there, there's, you know, like the cannons. They're much smoother. They're just basically a piece of sprue. They've got flash on, you know, as you'd expect really from that that era. But when you compare them detail-wise to the others here, let me move that out of the way. You know, these are a definite improvement. Definite improvement there. So this is definitely worth me spending a few minutes rescribing this little kit. Much as it's a tedious chore in some ways, rescribing, it's not. I mean, I've learnt that to my cost with the Victor project I'm working on at the moment. I've never rescribed before, and it's not fun. Once you get the hang of it, it starts to become slightly fun, but I wouldn't sort of, you know, fib to someone who's not done it before and say it's fun, because it is a bit of a chore. You can get into it, but basically it's a bit of a chore. It's not where the fun in modelling lies, and also life's too short to be rescribing kits. But on a little beauty like this, or one that could be transformed into a little beauty, hopefully, that's going to be my intention. You know, I don't think we've got no upgraded wheels on that, so that's going to have to be. They're not too bad. Bit of painterly illusion. Might change things. I can scratch build a few things. These are really old instructions, I mean, and the decals may have to be replaced. I don't know what the condition of those is going to be in. I mean, the register, the sheet's in perfect condition. The register looks a little faded to me, you know, as it would be. It's, you know, from 1974, so it is a little faded, but I'm going to try them anyway, see if I can get away with it. If I don't, I'll just have to buy an extra set. Yeah, I'll just have to beef it up with an extra set, but it's rather it's rather a nice clean set of decals. You get two versions. One is for the number 2 squadron, South African Air Force, which is I believe it's the more like the Malta version. That's the camouflage version, or the number 79 squadron with the very nice little lady there to go on the side of the fuselage. A bit blurred. What's he doing with his camera? Yep, so that's number 79 squadron, Royal Australian Air Force, which is, I think that's what I'm going to go with. It's just slightly different. Plus I've also got 1/48 scale Mark V that is in the stash, that is on the way in the future, and that will be the camouflage version from Malta. So I don't really want to make a small version of this. Just find that I just like that. It's a bit of an unusual colour scheme. Not the most dramatic of paint schemes, but I think it's quite interesting. It's got these areas of white demarcated there. This dark green. Wonder whether underneath is a light blue or a light grey, I'm not quite sure. And you've got your white leading edge over the extra cannons at the side there. But interesting little kit. Could be a good little build. Just have to get to grips with it and get into that. Get some passion going. Get focused on it. The painting instructions are not that, I suppose, for a kit this size. These will be older paints anyway, so they're probably not even available now. I don't know. They've probably changed the numbers. I don't know. Anyway, they're enamel, which wouldn't interest me. I'll be doing these in acrylic. But there's your the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 5C for number 2 squadron. That's 7-wing South African Air Force, Sicily. Sorry, not Malta. Sicily. Sicily, 1944. So that's the first option there. You can see it there. So that's the camouflaged option. And then there's the second option. Oh, that's still the camouflaged option there. So that's not bad actually. That's quite a good drawing. You've got good diagrams for the layout of the camouflage scheme on it. And I think on the reverse, no, on the reverse there isn't. I thought there'd be There isn't a colour scheme for the Royal Australian Air Force one, so no, I'll have to manage it with that. So that concludes this little video. I just thought you might be interested in that. A few people out there anyway, you crazy souls like me. So that's going to be one of the future little projects that is in the works, in the pipeline, present. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Anyone who's got any extra info on this, you know, like I say, back of the postcard. And that concludes this video, and happy modelling, and see you all shortly. Take care.